Okay, so let's talk about something that I feel like is so prevalent in everybody's day. Like one time or the other, or not even in their day, like their life. And that is the statement that people say, which is, I don't care what they think. I don't care what somebody thinks about me, right? And that statement is most often confused with, you should not care what someone thinks about you because you know who you are in here and you act as such, right? So for me personally, and I never speak on anything that I really have not gone through in life, doesn't mean that I don't know about it, but I just can bring more to the subject. So in the world period, it would be, I don't care what somebody thinks about me, their opinion. In the spiritual, it would be living that Galatians 1:10 life, which is, you cannot be a pleaser of people and serve Christ at the same time. That verse changed my life, but it did not stop in the spiritual, because we live in the world, right? So with that being said, when I was healed, or my healing journey was anchored in who I saw myself to be and how worthy I knew I was, but just couldn't formulate it. At 38 years old, I'm 48 years old, so 10 years ago, I heard God say, be offended by none and be ready to be corrected by many. I don't even think I understood the statement then the way that I do now. And what he meant by that was, when you leave your heart open to be offended by none, which means that the opinion of someone else does not distract you from who you know he has created you to be. Because whether you are a believer or not, every single one of us has purpose in us. In each of us, we all have a calling. We all have something so beautiful inside, because this is the way he's created us, right? So by you not caring or being distracted by the opinions of others, you also have to position yourself not to be offended, because then what you are trying to do does not align with you not being offended. It's not enough to say that you don't care what somebody thinks and then sit in there and then stay in the offense. And the reason staying in the fence is so dangerous is because when you are stuck in that offense, you cannot hear what you are supposed to hear according to what is supposed to be happening in your life. So you can't just say you don't care and then do the opposite of it. It holds you back from so much. So hear me when I say this, and I got this today, like in prayer. It is of the enemy to be offended by your enemies, because that is the enemy's plan, is let me distract them by them being distracted and being offended, because if they're in the offense, then they can't open their heart to be surrendered to hear what is really supposed to be happening for them, because then you want validation even though you're saying you don't. And you can continue to do it this way, even if it seems as though it's working, but it's never going to work. It'll act as though it's working, but it's never going to work, because the enemy tries to trick us into defending our honor. And our greatest vindicator is God. Like right now, and I say this all the time, there's umpteen people talking about Giselle, probably things that have happened 10 or 15, 20 years ago. But what is being said has no merit on my life today. If I allow it to, sure, it could, because I would be stuck in how I think people think about me, rather than my path to what God has for me. So a lot of the times you will hear people say things like, I can't believe they said X, Y, and Z about me, and I am X, Y, and Z to them. Like I was so good to them. I see the best in people. And that is a trick. And the trick is for you not to sit in your own mess, because that's an excuse. That's an excuse. It's not that you see the best in someone. It's that you don't want to have to deal with the confrontation of the truth, and also keep yourself accountable that what they say about you is none of your business. You think somebody's opinion is going to make or break the loan going through, the business being started, the people's lives that you can change, the rent being paid, the mortgage, the car payment, the ability to take a vacation, creating a better marriage for yourself, being a better mother, a father? No, it is not. This is the thing. Nobody has or should have that power on your life. Nobody. This is why it is so easy, and I will repeat that statement. It is so easy that you will never know that I don't like you, because I will love you first. And my love is not fake. It is so genuine and authentic. I often say people will leave this earth not knowing agape love. But it's that I'm going to love you before your opinion makes me not like you. That part. And I'm living testimony. I mean, I can think of things that I literally made myself crazy on. Like, what is this person going to think? What is this person? What if I do this? What if I hurt this person's feelings? What if I say no, but I really can't? Well, then I became a liar. Then I became not trusting. You know, all the things that I was trying to eliminate myself being, and that I really wasn't. And I was thinking on it, you know, and I remember, it may not have been the first time, but I remember when I was a little girl, the first time that I placed myself in a situation for what someone thought about me, or me revising the truth in order to be okay in the situation. And it was something as small as, I'll never forget it. I was in the living room. I think I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. And my mom had a friend over and she was talking, but I was watching television in the living room, and I was not allowed to have the TV up loud, but I had headphones on. I'll never forget it. And my mom had said something about the volume, and I didn't have the volume loud, but I had it low enough where I could hear them talking, but I wasn't like eavesdropping. Well, I took it upon myself to already think about what my mom was going to think, because I'm not even blaming her, I'm blaming me. And I forgot exactly how it went, but I got in trouble anyway. I got in trouble because it was not because it was loud, because it was not loud enough, because then I could hear the conversation. And the reality is because I didn't come in my authenticity of what was really going on and the trueness of the situation, it ended up bad anyway. Being authentically you must be doing the right thing, not just because it feels good or it seems good, because not everything good is what is supposed to be. You can cover something up, you can make it to seem that way, but you are self-sabotaging. When you know who you are and whose you are and how you were created to be and how bomb you are, nobody else's opinion will matter. Not because it may not be the best thing to do or the worst thing to do, but figuring it out and being who you are so that someone can see you for who you are, it releases so much pressure. It creates a freedom that you will never, ever realize and feel unless you do it. Because you will spend more time being you, the beautiful you, however that is, broken, whole, changing, and less time pretending to be something that you cannot keep up because of what others say, that in the interim doesn't even matter. And stop fooling yourselves to think that just because you think it's the way that you should be reacting based on your decisions, because nobody made you do X, Y, and Z. You're fooling yourself from really not only facing your own self, but just being who you're supposed to be to you so that it flows so easy to others. You don't have a reason to treat people messy and ugly because they're not you. And lastly, but frankly, you know why I'm about this Galatians 1:10 life? Because who am I to be judging anybody else's life? Perfect? None. Progression? All the way. But if I'm always thinking about how I am loved by him, then it makes it easier to just meet the person where they are and love them where they are. And this is the thing, you have choice. Even if you don't like what someone else is doing, your choice is not to give them that energy, but it doesn't give you a reason to make decisions that will hurt them based on who you were unwilling to be to yourself in the interim, showing others who you are from the beginning. So in closing, it all lies on you. All lies on you. Authentically you, truly you. Okay, I said I was done, but one more thing. To all you, I'm going to say it, to all you religious people, to all you Jesus lovers, he is not pleased when you judge people, when you say what you think is supposed to be, when just 2 months ago or last year you were asking for the same grace that you now want to judge someone else about. Listen to me, we have to do better. People don't want to know Christ because of what you are unwilling to do for yourself, and your insecurity leaks onto other people, and it's ugly, and God does not like ugly. He is the first one that will love someone through. So shame on you if you are shaming others, because it is not right. Go read your word. He says the opposite, baby. He defends us.